Hi guys, we're Bob here, and I'm out on the beach. It is getting close to being sunset, or has been sunset. It's getting close to being dark. Got my head torch on the middle of my head. So, kids are at clubs. I'm out for my walk. Doesn't appear to be anybody on the beach, but it is dark, so I can't actually tell. The sand is really wet. So I thought I'd do a talk. I don't know whether I'm going to hold this while I'm doing the talk, probably not, because it's a wee bit difficult to walk and talk and look at my notes at the same time. But I just wanted to kind of give you a quick look at what I'm up to, and that I am trying to figure out if darkness is going to cause me to stop having to go on my walks, which is a bit rubbish because it's helping me lose weight, windy pops. And so anyway, I'm going to shut this off. I took some footage the other night of me walking along the beach, nice sunset and all, so you can watch that instead. Oh, my nose. Yeah. So you can watch that instead while I talk nonsense about stuff. Alright, so speak to you later. Hi guys, wee Bob here, and I thought I'd talk about my top 4 things that I wish existed as accessories to my gaming life. So I've got my game room ready, I've been building my main cab, it's now operational, and with the game room being ready I've had a lot of time to start gaming again, and it's been fun. It's been great fun to actually get back into being a gamer, having had quite a break from like regular gaming for quite some time. Actually, I've had a break from regular gaming, so there's loads of things that I wish existed for gaming, better VR and different things like that, but this is about accessories where I would like to enhance my gaming experience by the addition of some hardware or the aesthetics of my gaming area. So number 1 on the list is, and it might exist, these things might exist but I haven't found them. The first one on my list is the PSVR. So normally I'm playing the PSVR. I've got Superhot, I've got Moss, various other games for the PSVR. And the other night I was playing Wipeout, and I'm trying to hold the controller, but every time I turned my head, the cable kept kind of snagging in my arm a wee bit, and it just wasn't comfortable. And I'm tried a few different kind of positions to see if I could fix it, and no, nothing worked. So the first thing on my would like to have fixed is either cableless PSVR, which I'm presuming will come in the future, or it would be some sort of harness that you could use with the PSVR that didn't take long to set up, but it would give you a kind of a cable control over the back of your head, so when you're moving your head it doesn't get stuck. So that's the first thing on my list, is the PSVR, and these kind of rank from the least required to the most required, or the most important things that I would like to exist. So I'm not really bothered because I don't play the PSVR too much, but it was just something the other night that popped into my head that it would be good to have something that controlled the cables a bit better. Second on the list is, while doing my gaming room, I've got my furniture set up, and I've got my Mega Drive, SNES, SNES Mini, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and obviously for every one of the systems you've got cables, and the room I'm in, there's only 2 sockets, and it's really quite frustrating because it means then you've got to put in the socket and then one of these multi-plug adapters, and also you then need to have all these cables running 2 TVs with then selector switches to select which system you're going to use. And it would be great if something existed that was like a one plug. I mean, these gaming systems don't take a lot of power, they don't use a lot of power, so there's no reason why a 13 amp plug wouldn't cover everything. And also you're only going to be using one at a time, you're not going to have all systems running at the same time most of the time. So the second thing on my list really would be some sort of plug that has multiple connections on the end to power all of the systems I've got, and obviously it would need to spider off at the end to provide the cabling to each of those systems. And what I did think about was it would be great if furniture existed, and I'm thinking about actually building something like this. So in IKEA you can buy these kind of cube units, and you see them on Instagram all the time. So you see somebody's gaming room, they've got all these lovely LED lights inside the cubes, with each system kind of just sitting neatly on the shelf, all polished and everything like that. But usually none of these are actually cabled in. None of them are cabled up, and I remember seeing another Instagram post where somebody had put in, having moved my unit, look at the amount of cables, and it was just like spaghetti junction. It was masses of cables everywhere. And I just think you could make a gaming furniture box thing where you have a little block at the back, and you take your console and you slide one of these blocks into like position, and it's got the connections, but all the cables are hidden inside the actual furniture itself through kind of voids, and those cabled out to this kind of singular plug. And I'm thinking it might be something I attempt to build, but that would mean that you could literally have that gaming set up and then have the cabling that was missing or not like in your face. Obviously you still have controller cables, unless you again find a way of doing a kind of Bluetooth, and again that's something that you could. I've seen somebody reviewing a kind of Bluetooth adapter for the PlayStation Classic the other day, where they could connect their PlayStation 4 controller, which meant there was no cables. So that's the kind of second thing on my list, is some kind of furniture, some kind of setup where you can have all your systems set up and it's cable free and looks lovely in all its glory. The cables are hidden and you're maybe left with like just one cable going from the furniture out. So the third thing on my list is that back in the day I used to play a lot of first person shooters. I played Call of Duty, played VCOM, played Sniper Elite, and more recently I've played Sniper Elite on the PC as well. And all of these games I used mouse and keyboard, and I would love it because I've got a whole bunch of great first person shooters on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 3 that I just don't want to play because I don't like playing with a controller to try and shoot. I just don't think it's natural. It doesn't feel the way that you would move a gun. I've done a wee bit of gun shooting, mainly air rifle stuff, because guns are banned in Scotland, so you don't usually get your hands on any kind of guns the way you do in America. But they do have air rifle kind of ranges, and archery. I've done archery as well, and naturally you move quite quickly between targets, and I just feel that a mouse controller mimics that a lot better than the kind of PS4 controller. Obviously a light gun idea would be better, but that's kind of difficult to have the light gun and run at the same time. However, I've never tried Farpoint on the PSVR, which I think would be quite good. But anyway, I would love it if PS3, PS4 had mouse and keyboard support for the first person shooters, because it would just make the games so much more enjoyable. But equally I like the dual control setup, so that if you were to go into like a Battlefield game, you can use your mouse and keyboard for when you're running on the ground, but you could maybe swap over to a controller when you get into one of the airplanes or something. So I would love for something like that to exist, but I've looked online at what PlayStation 3 games support keyboard mouse, and it just doesn't appear to be compatible. And I've not actually googled this one, so it would be great if there was something out there, an adapter or something that you could buy to allow keyboard and mouse capability for Call of Duty. And I don't mean multiplayer, because I'm not really into multiplayer, and I get that if somebody's using a controller compared to keyboard and mouse, there's probably an advantage one way or the other. Presumably the mouse person would have an advantage over the joystick person. So that's the kind of second thing on my list of 4 things that I would love to enhance my gaming experience. Just mouse, keyboard for first person shooters on consoles. Number 1 on the list is again something that I've wanted for some time, getting back into gaming, playing Silent Hunter, playing Lego games on the PlayStation 3, playing Diablo 3, which is a game I'm playing just now. The one thing that I like about gaming is you're interacting. I like the interaction, obviously that's the purpose of video games. But unlike TV, you sit down, you watch it, and you've got to be engaging most of your brain most of the time. You've got to be watching it. If you look at your phone or you're doing something else, you lose track of what's actually happening. Whereas in a game, unless you're at a cutscene, most games run along the path of you going between point A to point B in a car. Like in Grand Theft Auto, you've got the radio. And I mean, I liked Grand Theft Auto because you could listen to like radio stations where they was talking and stuff. Obviously it repeats itself after a while, and it might not be what you want to listen to. So what I would love to exist, and I don't know whether it does, is a set of headphones with 2 inputs and 4 speakers. So you get stereo output, both ears, but you can input one audio input to one set of speakers and the game audio into the other set of speakers. Games like Silent Hunter, where you would love to be listening to music or a podcast while you're traversing like the seas. I mean, obviously if you were actually in a submarine, people would be talking to you and you'd be interacting, whereas these games you're looking at a map and you're trying to plot your course, and it would be nice just to have music playing in the background or something. And so I've looked at mixers, 2-channel mixers, to see if that's maybe the way to go. I haven't purchased anything along those lines like a 2-channel mixer, but it would be great if you guys know of any of these things that exist. Leave a comment below, that would be appreciated. That would be brilliant. If you know a link, that would be even better. But my top 4 accessories would be cable management for PlayStation VR, power management for cables and also for input into TVs. Second would be keyboard and mouse support for all FPS games, and fourth would be some type of headphones that allow me to listen to 2 audio streams at the same time while playing a game. So it'd be great to hear what you guys think about this, if there's anything that you think should exist. You want to do a VR, you want to just talk about it in the comments, that would be great. Just let me know. Anyway guys, that's my wee talk for today, and wee Bob is out.